Well, g'day, you sevens. Okay, today we're dealing with something I think most of you will be pretty familiar with. It's a very simple idea, but nonetheless, it's one that we need to cover before we move on to more complex ideas, and that is the idea of perimeter. Now, our learning intention today is to be able to find the perimeter of different polygons. Okay, well, what is a polygon to begin with? Well, a polygon is any two-dimensional shape composed of straight edges only, and where the start and the finish point are the same. So it's what we call a closed two-dimensional shape. Okay. All right. So this is very basic stuff. The perimeter of a flat plane or a planar figure, in other words, a two-dimensional shape, is the distance around the outside of the figure. Okay, so in this diagram here, we have side lengths A, that's a length A, we don't know what the length is, length B, length C, length D, length E, and the perimeter is equal to the sum of all of those lengths. And it is as easy as that. Now, when you have curved edges, you can find the perimeter also, but it becomes much more difficult and involves an area of maths called calculus that you don't even look at until year 11 or 12. But for some special curves, like for example a circle, we can calculate the perimeter, but we need special formulas, and we'll be looking at that a little bit later. Next lesson, I think, maybe. So we're just going to go through two examples really quickly. Okay, calculate the perimeter of the following shapes in centimeters. So we're told the units. Okay, and that's useful because if we look at this polygon here, some sides are in centimeters, 22, 13, and 17. But these two are going to have to be converted, the 50 millimeters and the 110 millimeters. Okay, so you would pull up your conversion chart, or perhaps you've memorized it at this point, but that's okay if you haven't. You would pull up your conversion chart from last lesson and ask yourself the question, how do I get from millimeters to centimeters? Okay, well, we divide by 10. Okay, so that's the first calculation I've done here. 110 millimeters divided, and then I've divided by 10 to give me 11 centimeters. And I've done the same for the 50 millimeters here. 50 millimeters, 50 divided by 10 gives you 5, and that is in centimeters. Now that this is 5 centimeters and this is 11 centimeters, I can go ahead and do my final calculation. So you can see I've written, now, that's sort of a winding up statement. P for perimeter, capital P, equals, and then I just add together all of the side lengths, making sure that the two that I converted into centimeters are written in centimeters. I add all the side lengths together, I get my answer, and I write the units. Okay? Alright. So, moving on to a similar problem. I wouldn't say it's more difficult. One little element that distinguishes it from the last problem a little bit, but let's go through it together, okay? You will see on here that we have some symbols, little dashes. Now, I think we all know what these mean, but I'll go over them just in case. Alright, if you have a single dash and another single dash on another edge, you know that those two edges are the same length. Now, if we want to express the idea that some other edges in the same shape are the same length, but not the same as these two, well, we need a different symbol. So the new symbol is two lines, okay? That tells us that this side and this side and this side are all the same length, but not the same length as this side, okay? So by using this symbol, you don't have to write 25 millimeters here or here, okay? You can just write it once. All right, but we have to give our answer in centimeters. So this 25 millimeters and this 20 millimeter side here, we're going to have to convert those, okay? So 25 millimeters, if we divide 25 by 10, we get 2.5 centimeters. And 20 millimeters, if we divide that by 10, we get 2 centimeters. So now we have everything in terms of centimeters. All right, so I could do this in a couple of different ways, okay? There's a slightly less clever way and a slightly more clever way, but they're both totally fine. The slightly less clever way is to say, where's the cursor gone? There it is. 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4. Or you could do what I've done down here. I've done 2 plus 2 lots of 4, because I have 2 side lengths that are equal to 4 centimeters, plus 3 lots of 2.5, because we have 1, 2, 3, plus another 2.5, oh, I could have written 4 lots of 2.5, plus the remaining 2 that we have here, okay? So, a couple of different ways to express. If you do it this way, you'll just have slightly less working out along from left to right on your page, but you'll get the same answer, okay? And the answer is 22 centimeters. And that is perimeter. Well done, guys. See you next time.